Hey guys, welcome back. And obviously, you're watching Up and Adam. Guys, thank you again so much for another incredible week. And I hope you guys are going to have an amazing weekend. Of course, we have a lot coming your way and a lot of exciting new announcements that I can't wait to share with you guys. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, which means that silver plaque is going right here. And I can't wait. But that's not what we're about to talk about right now. Now, Tamra Judge has been vocal about Vicki Gunvalson and how she's feeling ever since her ex-fiance announced his new engagement. Sounds like she's taking it pretty tough. So we have all the details on that and more. But before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so Tamra Judge says that, well, her best friend, Vicki Gunvalson, is still struggling over the news that his, her ex-fiance, Steve Lodge, is now engaged to Janice Carlson. She said Vicki's really sad about it. She's having a hard time. That makes me sad. But she said this on her podcast with Teddy Mellencamp, who I've said a million times, this is the strangest duo to have a podcast ever. At first, I was like, this isn't going to be good. And now you guys have heard me say it a couple of times. Oh no, this two T's in a pod, it's kind of where it's at. Now, Tamra did explain that Vicki is starting to feel the pressure of being single as she approaches turning the big 6-0 in March. She just can't understand. She doesn't want to be single. She's coming up on her 60th birthday and all she can talk about is, I don't want to be single. I'm 60. I want to be in a relationship. Now, regardless, Tamra thinks that Vicki Gunvalson dodged a bullet with Steve, adding, he's been engaged 7 times. I didn't know he's been engaged 7 times, but I feel like that would kind of be a little bit of a red flag. And it's giving me those Real Housewives of New Jersey, vibes like, are you kidding me? Engaged 19 times? Prostitution? Well, I don't have to do the rest, but table flip, boom. All right. That's the vibe that it's giving me. 7 times is a lot of engagements. But then again, my parents have been married like more than you can count on 2 hands. So to each their own. Tamra also further alleged that things have, at least began to go sideways after Vicki bought a retirement condo in Puerto Vallarta in February of 2020. She claimed that by October of that year, Steve was living in the condo full time and blocked Vicki on Instagram. See, he has a different rendition of that story. He said, I was not living in her condo in Puerto Vallarta. I was living in my condo in Puerto Vallarta. We didn't know he had his own condo. So Vicki even said the same thing when she was accusing him of cheating. She said, Steve had another woman in my bed at my condo in Puerto Vallarta. And he came back and said, that's not the case. I have my own condo. Moving on. Steve was there full time and Vicki has a job. She's got an office. She owns a business, so she couldn't be there all the time. This is what Tamra Judge is saying on the podcast. Then there started to be this distance. They started fighting and then he blocked her on Instagram. It started to become very high school-ish. I mean, I would agree to that. And they both said some crazy things about each other. She said that he wants, fame. He's a fame whore and that he's super vain and he wants all of this attention. She said that he can't accept no, that he tried walking away from the relationship multiple times and that she couldn't accept it. It's like there's his story, her story, 2 sides. And then of course there's the third side, which is obviously the truth. They're both of their sides are going to be biased in their, defense. So I would really actually like to know what is happening. I don't know, but I would. Now, 8 months later, Steve Lodge announced his run for governor of California, and Tamra claimed that he immediately came crawling back for Vicki's support, including moving into her new Coto, California home and encouraging her to wear her ring again. Tamra alleged that shortly after Steve lost the race, he moved straight into his now fiance's apartment and said he had been dating her while he was living with Vicki in Coto. Okay, so then that's where you lost me, Steve. If you were in fact dating this 37-year-old woman who is a teacher, she's very pretty, but if you were dating her while living with Vicki, that's not fair to her and that's not fair to Vicki. This sounds like a dog kind of move, if in fact it is true. Now, the podcast host also concluded her revelations by saying that her longtime friend is adjusting and still hurt. Obviously, we know that Steve proposed to Vicki in April of 2019, and she announced her split in September of 2021. Then Steve went Instagram official with Janice on Christmas Day after proposing to the school teacher on December 20th. This timeline, man. Vicki herself discussed the difficult news with Page Six, telling them in a statement, "I really don't want to give him any more publicity. He's a fame whore." Now, after this came out, Andy Cohen even went on and said, "We need to find a man for Vicki. We need to make sure her love tank is full." I understand, but also I feel like Steve was the wrong fit the whole time. I didn't like Brooks for her either, especially not with the whole cancer scandal. But with Steve, you could tell as soon as he got on the show, he was trying to tone Vicki down. And that's not right. When you met her, she was a reality TV personality. She was the whoop it up and like do whatever she wanted to do. She was always the life of the party, always trying to have fun, screaming in people's faces. And then as soon as we started seeing her on the show, it looked like she started to lose her full-time position when Steve came into play. She toned it way down. She said, "I'm not taking my clothes off. I'm not running around. I'm not acting like this. This is tacky and tasteless." And Andy even pointed out at one of the reunions, "You used to do the same thing on the show. You're just in a different position in your life now." Vicki didn't like that. And she was like, "No, I didn't. I never did that." Well, Andy was like, "You did." So with that, we did hear that Vicki might have a new man in her life. And we saw where her daughter and her daughter's husband, which is her son-in-law, Ryan Culberson, they posted some photos and videos on their social media accounts saying that they were chaperoning a date between Vicki and some other man. Now, in this photo, it was a little eerie because the other man looked identical to Brooks. Brooks Ayers, the cancer scandal dude that, well, everybody on Bravo knows is like a sham. And when I'm looking at the photo, I'm like, Vicki, no. It looks like you have a type and that type is wrong. We have to move on. But I'm not Vicki and she's going to do whatever she wants. Guys, I don't want to just give you this information and not ask what your thoughts are. So what do you think about Tamra saying that Vicki's having a hard time with this and that she's extremely sad about the news? Do you think she's more sad about turning the big 6-0 and being single? Or do you think she's more sad about the fact that he was able to move on so easily and he's now engaged, leaving her behind? I know you guys have opinions. Or do you think it could be a combination of both? Because it absolutely could. I know you guys have opinions, so go ahead and share them. And if you didn't catch our lives, make sure you go back and watch the replay of our Live with Ronald Richards, giving us a Bravo legal update on Noella Bergner, Dr. Jen Armstrong, Jen Shaw, and Erica Girardi. And then, of course, my last episode, my most recent episode of Wake Up and Adam, because we have some serious proposal fail stories that are hilarious. I even share a little bit about my own. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.